Finally, we have some new Starfield news. Personally, I am obviously very excited and happy about this because it does feel like it has been forever since the last time Bethesda disappointed us about Starfield. And I personally enjoy these small disappointments. When nothing but disappointment and hate is left, you take these, small windows of opportunity and have fun with them. And that's exactly what we're gonna be doing. Because let's be real, Starfield will never have a redemption story, it will never be fixed. And Bethesda, at this point, I don't think has even made a single patch to fix a bug for the past couple of months. It has been really, really bad.
Ladies and gentlemen, Starfield is in the news mill once more, and there's been a consistent trend that I want to talk about because members of Bethesda have kind of stirred this debate online over and over again, and we have another example of that I want to dive into today. So what we're talking about is Starfield and its reception. There's a lot of mixed opinions on it online. I'm one of the people who does, I would say, like Starfield. I can't say I
There is absolutely no mixed reception at all surrounding Starfield. Everyone hates it. And that has never been non-true. Starfield, pretty much 2 days after its release, was unanimously talked down upon, hated, and not appreciated. Because there's nothing to appreciate. The dumbest people needed literally only 2 days to figure out this thing was bad. Most people, less than 40%, but close to 40%, quit the game, and you can see that through achievements on Steam and whatnot. Quit the game before 2 hours into the game, probably because they can refund it. Smart. I actually missed the opportunity to refund Starfield, but I did not play the new expansion. Well, spoiler alert, literally no one played the new expansion, Shattered Space, which just proved how bad Starfield is. Bethesda's bug fixes didn't fix bugs. Bethesda's updates didn't improve the game, and the expansion didn't fix any issues. So, no, Starfield never had hope, and the supermajority of people never considered it a good game or thought that it can have even a redemption. The 2.0 rumors had gotten squashed in, well, days since they arrived. Bethesda developers themselves said, "Oh no, this is not a redemption story. We're not pulling off a Cyberpunk. 2.0 is more like a minor patch." Oh my god.
love it, but I think it's a good game compared to what I see online. I think it's good. I enjoy some of its quest lines. I enjoy.
Why is it good? I wanna hear why it's good. I have played this game personally. I have 9 hours in it. Frustrating 9 hours in it. I have seen the stories. I have seen the quests. I have seen people talk about it. There is only literally one thing that I can call good about Starfield, and that's just, the bar that shows you are you detected or not. It's very straightforward, very clear, very understandable. But nothing else. Nothing else I can name good about Starfield. Starfield is really a work of art in the sense that I unironically cannot name a good thing about it. I think every system in this game is bad.
Shooting. I like its lore, but obviously I share a lot of complaints that many of you do.
The shooting's trash, the lore doesn't exist. What is the lore? I think we a month ago we talked about the lore yet again. Like, what was the point of anything that happened? Don't fucking know, actually.
Loading screens, the lack of exploration, the endless procedural content, some of the technology already aging poorly, where I've seen the argument that, like, hey, Starfield feels like it's made by AI. And there are parts of the game that definitely, when you start landing on those planets and there's just nothing there that you can, like, really grab onto and feel like a human touched that or added a story to it. I get where people are coming from. It's a game that has a lot of problems with it. And Bethesda has not been the best at receiving feedback for this. I won't really fully loop Todd Howard into this based on his.
Oh, what do you mean? Bethesda is the worst in taking feedback for this. This is the funniest part. Bethesda did not believe a single piece of feedback that said anything else than Starfield is the greatest thing ever. Honestly, Starfield, as most Bethesda things, has died to toxic positivity. The inability to believe that anyone saying it's bad is right. Emil Pagliarino doubled down. Actually, everything about Starfield was doubled down in the expansion because these people unironically thought that Starfield is the greatest thing ever. So people just are too stupid to understand. This was the opinion they unironically had. The developers behind Starfield thought that we're just too stupid to understand the greatness of Starfield, and they did not hesitate to call us stupid and uneducated and whatnot. Crazy shit, honestly. They are just so out of touch. Starfield is honestly a story of toxic positivity.
Recent comments on the Kind of Funny Games cast, but we're seeing another example here of not only long-term commitment to Starfield, which Todd Howard also mentioned, but also this weird kind of deflection that I hate to use this term because it does sound antagonistic, but sincerely, I think it's the best term here, cope. There's this
Autism?
coping of like, it's just not resonating the way they expected it to. And I think Todd said it best that, yeah, some people do find Starfield boring, but when I see headlines like this, I think it's worth
Some people, Jesus.
revisiting the talking point of Bethesda receiving criticism, because if it was a one-off, I kind of just shrug my shoulders at it, but it just keeps happening. What we're talking about here is documented by IGN. Bethesda boss Todd Howard will stay the
I really don't get the hate with Starfield. It's still a really fun game, and I actually really enjoy part of it and the planets. It actually grown more and more on me. Now, obviously, this is a person whose first language, or probably second language even, is not English. But I get what he's saying, and that's fucking sad. There's nothing enjoyable about the planets. The planets don't grow on you, unless you mean the fact that you know exactly how every planet is gonna look and feel. Wow. But there's nothing good about it. Like, opinions like this are the only people who are gonna play Starfield and think Starfield is good. People who actually fucking perfectly curve on the IQ scale below 80. Honestly, if we would compare Starfield fans to the average IQ distribution, you'd probably find that the average person doesn't give a fuck. The smart ones hate it, and the dumb ones are like, I like spaceship! I like spaceship! Yeah, something like that.
course on Starfield, says veteran composer who also believes people were just not ready for it at launch, which I think is like quite the statement, to be honest with you.
Yeah, again, toxic positivity. Oh, our game's really good. Just people just don't understand it. This is why they wrote those AI posts to respond to people's negative feedback and said, well, have you tried to play it the correct way, you fucking retard? Because that's what I actually did. But people who missed the glory days of the Starfield hate don't know that this is actually a thing, but Bethesda did. They responded to literally every negative feedback surrounding Starfield on the Steam forums with like one of 2 or 3 AI posts. And yes, literally one of 3 copy pastes. And one was, well, have you tried playing it until New Game Plus? I think that was one. The other one was, do you think astronauts were bored in space when they landed on a moon? And the third one is, well, have you tried to play the game the correct way, like we tell you to? Not like you want it, you stupid idiot. Those were the 3 responses. Maybe there was a 4th, but I don't remember it. Those were the responses. Again, these people really, really, really do not understand anything.
Let's read this article here by IGN and what Einon Zur, who is one of my favorite composers, by the way. I don't say that to soften any criticism on what I'm about to say about his comments here, but he did everything from like Dragon Age Origins to Fallout 3. He's made some of the most impactful music for video games I love, and I believe he's working on Elder Scrolls 6. He's been with Bethesda for a long while. So let's see what he had to say. Speaking to RPG site, veteran game composer and frequent Bethesda collaborator Einon Zur said he believes Starfield had simply been ahead of its time when it arrived in 2023 to a more muted reception than the company's usual Elder Scrolls and Fallout blockbusters. Now, we skip down to the quotes here. He's talking about Todd Howard. He says, he's a very persuasive and has a very strong character, Zura said of Bethesda's boss, Todd Howard, who helped drive development on Starfield during its lengthy time in production. Quote, he will also find ways...
Now, the irony of this sentence is the fact that Todd Howard has actually scrubbed his name from Starfield. Yes, initially, Todd Howard has put his name on everything Bethesda has made since Fallout 3. But for some reason, he is removing his name from Starfield. Interesting.
To describe what he wants without really calling it a name. He knows how to allow freedom of creativity on one hand, but he also knows how to steer it to his own vision. He is a visionary.
Every time we have, by the way, some kind of interview with some big shot at Bethesda, it's always one of two things. And one of these two things has to be a lie because they contradict each other. One is the take that Todd Howard allows people to do, all the things that he wants. He only guides the process in a direction or so. And the other take is that Todd Howard literally says, does the final say on how toothpicks look in the game. That he micromanages everything. Both of these things cannot be true at the same time. And yet, every single time we have a Bethesda developer, ex-developer, or whatever speaking, who is in an actual position where he would be able to speak with Todd Howard. There's a cat. Cute cat. We would be able to speak with Todd Howard and actually, be in the same room with him. We get these two completely drastic different opinions. And it doesn't make sense. Like, how the hell is this possible? And this has been happening for 3 years, I think, at this point. These two opinions happen at the same time, but it can't be true.
He sees things that people will start to find out years later. This is a pretty common compliment for Todd. And I think when you look at the games that he is heavily involved in, especially in his earlier parts of his career, like Morrowind and on, you can see a lot of that and how they built block by block with a Morrowind and Oblivion and a Skyrim, what the vision they were working to was, and then how that vision started to rattle and fall apart as technology advanced a bit here. But this is a common sentiment. He writes, this also applies to Starfield, Zura continued. When Starfield released, I believe people were just not ready for it. It's a different way of looking at it, but Todd is really strong. And he said very, very lightly, look, if you don't like it, then you don't like it. But this is the new thing that we're doing, and we're sticking to it. I have a lot of thoughts on this, but there's more context to the quote here, and it's just one of those things where I'm surprised that he's saying this about Todd because it shows a level of my way or the highway, which I don't think Todd is like that, but it shows that there may have been some internal hey, there might be a problem here. But as Einon continues on and says, he believes in his way. And it is just proven time and time again that eventually people will understand his vision. It just takes time, and this is...
But what if not? I mean, no one still fucking understands the vision of Fallout 3, the ending where it's you have to go and die in that chamber because that's your destiny. Yeah, people still don't understand what the fuck was the point of that one, honestly. It just seems stupid.
The common thing for all big visionaries. Sometimes people really don't understand them correctly, but they were strong enough to stay on course, and Todd will stay on course on Starfield. Starfield will eventually become something...
Now, the irony of saying that is the fact that Starfield's pretty much abandoned by this point. The updates... when was the last update for Starfield at this point? I haven't even heard about a patch that fixes bugs.
That will be legendary. I have no doubt. It's just a matter of time. And I know that's inviting a lot of antagonization, but the one thing I want to give Bethesda credit for is they do hang with projects that any other developer in this industry would drop in a heartbeat. We've seen games with endless potential get dropped. But look, Bethesda has hung with stinkers like 76 and turned them around somehow. And I'm glad...
this is the casual fucking Bethesda fanboy lie. No, 76 has not turned shit around. 76 was literally about to be cancelled by Microsoft because it was not making even remotely enough money. And the only reason it wasn't canceled was because the Fallout TV show happened, and it literally six times the average of the player base. And now 76 has gotten like, I don't know, like 5 major updates in that time since the TV show initially aired. And the player base is back to, well, slightly above, but by barely 10% or something like that. The average player base before Bethesda was shutting it down. And this is now with more content creation and more development costs, okay? So this is a lie.
That there seems to be a Todd mentioned it, Anon saying it. There's multiple mentionings of other Bethesda staff saying it. Like, they're going to hang with Starfield. And while it frustrates me that they're kind of viewing it as this sort of...
Well, they can't abandon Starfield. They literally claim that this is going to be one of their big franchises. They have they have the Fallout universe, they have the Elder Scrolls, and now Starfield joins them.
Released it in 2023 as a vision. You didn't get it, but we're going to get there over time. Then I'm wondering when the vision's actually complete. And obviously people are going to say, why did you sell as an incomplete vision? That aside, though, I like that when a thing doesn't resonate, they don't just give up on it and go like, oh, take our L. But what we've noticed here as a, constant thing with Starfield, particularly from Bethesda, is this weird way...
Oops. Changed the scenes. I wanted to pause the video. My bad. My bad. Don't worry about it. Like the video, by the way. Thank you. It helps me a lot. It actually does. So please. It takes less than a second. Thank you. And maybe subscribe while you're at it. Who knows? But how can you say that Starfield is honestly not abandoned? Because Starfield 100% is abandoned. A look at how long Starfield has been out. I mean, just fucking look at it, okay? Let me actually open SteamDB Starfield. Let's check the SteamDB stuff. Wait a fuck. What? SteamDB Starfield. There we go. Let's look at the SteamDB for Starfield, okay? And then let's look at the SteamDB for Fallout 76, okay? Okay. Changing scenes so you can see it. Wait a minute, just wait a minute, boyos. And there we go. Let's look at Starfield. Let's look at Starfield. 3,000 people in, 330k peak. You know how much this is? This is less than 1% retention, by the way, if you do the math. Actually, this is like 9.1% retention, which is horrible, needless to fucking say. And I mean, that's peaking. And the other one is Fallout 76, that currently has 14k players. Okay, let's look at the max. Look at this. Let's look at how much Fallout 76 has had updates. This is the Fallout TV show when it dropped. 1 update, 2 updates, 3 updates, 4 updates, 5 updates, 6 updates, 7 updates. Let's see how much Starfield has had in its, Jesus Christ, almost 3 years of existence. It has had 1. It's here. It's called Shattered Space. That's it. That's the only update. How can you honestly, unironically try and tell me that Starfield is not abandoned? It fucking is. It absolutely is. This is not a question. This is reality. So, I kind of don't like this magical cope of, oh, Starfield's not actually abandoned. It is. It 100% is.
Of receiving and interpreting feedback, right? So I'm only going to pick on Todd a little bit more here because he did recently admit, like, some people are going to just find Starfield boring. But I want to go back to 2024 when Shattered Space came out, and Shattered Space was one of the worst reviewed Xbox.
What do you think is a better name for the video, by the way, boys? Starfield's last update was 2 years ago, or... Fuck, what was the other one? I already forgot what was the... Oh, Starfield, Starfield has a toxic positivity problem. I'm gonna write that down, actually, okay? Starfield toxic positivity dead something, and the other one was Starfield last update was 2 years ago. What do you think is the best actual YouTube name for it? I wonder.
Xbox products. It was one of the worst reviewed, if not the worst reviewed thing Bethesda has done next to Fallout 76. Like, it was pretty terribly received across critics and a lot of fans. And when
All
that came
fans.
out, I was hoping with such harsh criticism and again, people being loud about it. It wasn't like Starfield where it came out, the reviews were positive, and then the sentiment kind of fell off over time.
By the way, you know what I fucking love about this absolute slop fiesta? It's like, oh, floaty rock. That's the appeal here.
And people being loud about it. It wasn't like Starfield.
And here, these people have literal anti-gravity technologies. And this thing is like floating in air, and they're like, wow! It floats in air! Yes. A lot of shit floats in air because you have anti-gravity technology, idiot.
Came out, the reviews were positive, and then the sentiment kind of fell off over time with more and more review and opinion pieces. That was very different. This is like everyone was, when I say everyone, I'm using it loosely. A lot of people were very upset. With Starfield Shattered Space, I'm like,
no, everyone was upset.
Okay, hopefully they're listening. And then Phil Spencer was speaking on behalf of Todd Howard.
Like, look at this shit. This is unironically what the game looked like in the expansion. House Maroon led us to tattoo our eyelids because autism. Bro, can you even...
Here. IGN writes, in an interview with GameFile newsletter, Phil Spencer said we're always learning when talking about how to approach expansions, and mentioned a conversation he had with Todd Howard about the release cadence for content. Skipping down to the quote here, he said, Todd and I were talking about Shattered Space. Starfield is a game I put a ton of hours into and really love, but they've had this thing where they've added features throughout the year, and then they had an expansion, Spencer said. I think some of the feedback on the expansion is we wanted more features, and he's like, well, should we have waited to put out buggies? He continued, and so I think if you're trying to tune...
Oh, we have already seen this. Yes, Phil Spencer and Todd Howard unironically thought Shattered Space was not a hit fucking return to form masterpiece, IGN article style, because they didn't release the buggy on that expansion, that they released buggy before the expansion. Yes, like, I mean, obviously it's a lie, right? Everyone knows that it's a lie. But maybe they don't know it's a lie. Maybe they're so insane that they think it's real. Because Todd Howard and Phil Spencer are people who used to be rock stars, who used to never do anything wrong, who used to steer the ship in whichever direction they wanted, and it magically fucking worked out. And the key here is obviously they used to be these things. And now, well, Phil Spencer is gone, replaced by, what's her fucking name? Asha Shakwan, whatever. And yeah, she's gonna push AI. Now, granted, would AI make a better game than Starfield? Yes. I actually fully fucking believe it. AI would make a better game than Starfield, considering people have written the emails about how ChatGPT makes better quests for Starfield than anything that they have actually handmade at this point. Jesus Christ. Anyway, yeah, that was Mr. Manny. Starfield is dead. Call it toxic positivity, call it whatever you want. 10 out of 10. Bye.